Yeah, it's a straight up crazy time for Xbox right now, but not everything is bad. You know, sometimes they have some pretty good announcements, and I have to be honest, that's a really cool thing to see. You know, like anything right now could be happening, and I think gamers would just be like, oh, okay, well, whatever the case may be, I guess we have to kind of like stick it out or whatever. But, you know, it is nice to see when Microsoft seemingly is trying a bit. Well, it remains to be seen whether or not their version of trying is going to really lead anywhere, and I don't mean to sound necessarily negative completely from this, but we'll have to see how this kind of works out. But again, this is something that a lot of gamers are asking for. I've seen this numerous times, and you know, just overall, it's nice to see that this is a possibility. And you know, again, right now, I think possibly take this with a grain of salt. But if you are looking for some fairly positive Xbox news, this might be the video for you. What's up, everyone? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel. Means a lot to me personally if you guys could do that. I do daily gaming content, so if you're looking for content on the daily, look no further. That's what I do, and that's what I enjoy doing. So it's fun yet informative. Keep that in mind as we go along. You know, again, it's just always interesting to kind of talk about these kind of things and, you know, see where everybody is kind of at. You know, at the end of the day, I think it really just kind of comes down to what type of gamer you are and, you know, maybe what you're looking for in terms of content from Microsoft. So, yeah, you know, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what everybody thinks, but I want to get into it. Again, this is pretty cool, and I know this is something that like probably millions of people are asking for at this particular point, but it looks like we're going to be getting some more Fallout projects, as there's multiple projects in development, which this is a big deal, you know, if you think about it. Honestly, you would think that Bethesda or Microsoft or somebody would figure out how to get, you know, Bethesda's Fallout games and Elder Scrolls games and these games to be made simultaneously, like extra studios or whatever the case may be. But you know, they're such a big franchise, it's hard to believe that the last Fallout game, I think, was 2015. I mean, that's a decade ago, so that's pretty crazy when you think about it. So knowing how popular the Fallout TV show is, you would think they would want to capitalize on that, but no, they didn't. While this year's game showcase was fairly Fallout-less, but Bethesda is apparently working on multiple games, including one everyone's wanting. Although the Fallout TV show has increased the Fallout hype tenfold, we've still yet to hear much from Bethesda about new games for the series. With that being said, a slew of new post-apocalyptic experiences are reportedly on the horizon, as Bethesda is apparently working on multiple Fallout games, which I know a lot of people are probably excited about overall, to kind of see how that works out, or whatever the case may be. You know, again, it really kind of depends on what type of gamer you are, you know. And, you know, at the same point in time, you know, I feel like there is a lot of people that are kind of wanting this stuff to kind of be fulfilled or whatever. So yeah, it's interesting. So a Fallout game you've all been wanting is in development. It's been a decade since people started playing Fallout 4. Bethesda is reportedly working on multiple games. One game is likely the leaked Fallout 3 remaster, however. After the success of the TV show adaptation and the recently released Oblivion Remastered, fans have been clamoring for a new game of the beloved Xbox RPG franchise. While the team has been pretty quiet on the matter, we can reportedly look forward to several new games in the future. The report comes from VGC's Jordan Midler during a recent appearance on the podcast. It says Fallout is a big one. I cannot believe that they didn't immediately start work on Fallout 5. There are multiple Fallout projects in development, including, as far as I'm aware, that one that you're all wanting, but it's not far enough along to say anything that's like, oh, you're going to be playing this game anytime soon. What those projects are is currently unclear, but it's pretty safe to say and push bets on Fallout 3, because the remaster leaked via court documents way back in 2023, which you voted as your top choice for the next Bethesda remaster, according to this site. The game was listed alongside Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, which was released earlier this year. Midler's comments that the one you're all waiting for is interesting and could be related to New Vegas or perhaps a sequel. After Amazon's TV show exploded in popularity, it was almost certain that Xbox would be looking to make a new Fallout game happen sooner rather than later. later. Obsidian Entertainment would actually be a great choice after the team smashed it out of the park with Fallout New Vegas. The studio founder had previously said the team actually wants to do it with Avowed already out and Grounded 2 and Outer Worlds 2 launching later this year. It wouldn't be a great time for Obsidian to get involved. With Bethesda Game Studios now cracking on with the Elder Scrolls 6, it's likely to be quite the wait before we see anything about the next Fallout entry, but it's exciting to know that several games could be on the way. And I know there's a lot of people that are big Fallout fans and things like that. For me personally, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan, but I know that there are fans out there, and so that's something that I think people should get excited about. And it's always fun to see like the reactions and things that people have to these things. Like I said, when you have these big franchises like Fallout, like Elder Scrolls, you really need to be able to get those out in a more timely manner, and I think that's where maybe Obsidian could come into play, because they did do New Vegas, which I know was like highly sought after, and a lot of people did kind of enjoy that and just said, hey, you know what, this is a kind of a fun thing to kind of get into or whatever. And again, are we going to see anything specific soon? Like I said, I would say that these things are going to be kind of interesting. It makes more sense to get the remaster since that leaked, and it's going to be that one thing that people kind of get into and talk about a lot, whether or not you're like a fan of it or whatever. For me anyway, the way that I look at how Microsoft has approached some of these announcements and some of these different things or whatever, I do find it to be funny that they've been waiting so long to drop some of these games. It could have really put them back on the map. Like I know originally when they bought ZeniMax, it was probably we know that they were buying them to get exclusive games, right? And I know all that kind of has changed now, but you would think you would want to get to work on Elder Scrolls and Fallout, because those would have been the ones that moved the needle for your platform if you're selling exclusive games, right? Now I realize they're not going to do that with these games, but you would have figured. I just think that kind of goes in along with the poor management that Microsoft has, because it's like the stuff that could move the needle they refuse to do, and that's a real shame, like that's a real shame coming out of like everything the way that it is. And I feel like Microsoft has kind of really mishandled that, because if you look at it, when you start planning a piece of hardware, or when you start planning something, you really should have like the software lined up, right? Because without the software, it's nothing. And you can look at that and go look back into the Xbox One X, right, which basically launched with nothing, and they didn't have anything first party wise that the rest of that generation really that was taking advantage of it in a AAA space. And then you wait, so then you have the Series X, right, this real powerful great console, but you literally launch it with 0 exclusive games, right? Like how long does it take to design a console? Probably 4 or 5 years, according to what we know. And in that time you didn't think to have games being created to launch with that? Like it doesn't make a sense to me. It always seems like sort of a weird situation that went down there at Microsoft. And I always stick by 100%. I feel like Xbox was done, like completely done, and and I think that they were like really done, and they didn't want to have anything to do with games. And unfortunately, that's kind of a bad situation for all of us, because we like games and gaming, and we wanted to see what they could do. And again, the fact that Microsoft kind of changes course so often is a real shame, and I guess we'll have to wait and see how that kind of turns out for everyone in the long run. But seeing that we can end up getting some more Fallout down the line, including a remaster, I think it's okay to remaster some of these games, like the ones that are in need of it. And I think especially if you go back and look at some of the Fallout games, they aren't exactly graphically amazing or anything. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all turns out. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. You guys can let me know down below what you think. Are you guys Fallout fans? Are you not Fallout fans? Are you you interested in this stuff? Are you not? Just let me know, because like I said, it really kind of comes down to what you guys think and what you guys want, and at the end of the day, I mean, that's pretty much all you can kind of ask for. So let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.